People are joining us. Good evening, everyone. And my name is Yana Tibben. I'm the founder of Art Catch, online gallery with a focus on Russian artists and a platform, international platform for curators, artists, and collectors. I will start with as people are joining us, I will start a bit of slowly with introducing who we are and why we are talking about immersive technologies tonight. So last Thursday, we had an opening of the gallery and our first ever online exhibition, ANIZOTROPIA, by Russian sculptor and I would say philosopher Valentin Korzhov. And there was a very interesting conversation about his art. He immersed us. He really immersed us into his creative world. And we also hosted Ari Amaya Ackermans, the writer and researcher of contemporary art in the context of ancient and modern philosophy, which was absolutely exciting conversation. And we also had on board Nathalie Reyes from Cappasity, our strategic technological partner in this exhibition. But that was kind of a broad conversation where we touched a bit of the different aspects of this exhibition. And starting from today, we are beginning a series of more detailed conversation about that dedicated to separate topics that are highlighted in the exhibition. And stay with us, please, till end. We will tell you more about the next topics that will be following, and we'll be launching them every Thursday. So next one will be already next Thursday, and we'll tell later what it will be about. And for today, so today we're discussing immersive technologies for art, showcasing art online and not only online, also offline, I think. And I want to introduce you Nathalie Reyes, the Director of Innovations and Strategic Partnerships and Cappasity, our technological partner for 3D images of sculpture, and also Anna Shvets from TAtchers Art Management, our partner for international PR. She's kindly helping us today to make the technical communication tonight possible. Thank you so much, Anna, for helping us. And yeah, we would like to make this really a kind of a conversation. It's not a webinar. We want to get a feedback from you, and we'll have a time at the end of the meeting for Q&A session. So I know that among those who registered, we have artists, we have art managers, we have curators and technical experts. So you're very welcome to ask your questions. Please do that in Facebook chat. And also, I think it's possible to do it in Zoom. And we'll try to answer all the questions. Please be active. Make most of this conversation. And I see that the people are still joining, so let's allow maybe 5 more minutes before we start, because I don't want you to miss any word of Nathalie. It will be very too interesting and too important and useful. So let me just quickly walk you through the exhibition, please. It's especially interesting maybe for those who haven't seen it yet. So I will open, can I have a host please to share my screen with you? Yep, yeah. So again, for those who haven't seen it yet, you go to artcatch.art, very easy. You will see in main menu the exhibition room. So you click on exhibition room and here we go. Here is ANIZOTROPIA. And it starts with the introduction text by Ari Amaya Ackermans. It's a philosophical introduction into the vision of Valentin. And if you want, you can have a look at the full version and read it. And as we scroll down further, we can see the fragments of the works and some quotations of Valentin. And as I mentioned last time, what I find one of the advantages of online exhibition, as we have an opportunity here to give a more insight into the concept of the project, of the idea of the artist. And so here you can read some of his ideas. And here we see the works as the images as we used to see them, and the sketches, and again, fragments. And here we see the 3D image of the sculpture. So it's a motion modus, but you can stop it and you can double click on it and you can see the details and everything if you want. And with double click, you return back to the motion modus. And I'm not going to show you the whole exhibition right now. Just take your time, relax, and whatever you prefer. And I just want to mention that that was, it's still hard to conceive the size of the sculpture, definitely. Of course, this is one of the shortcomings of online exhibition, but I think that thanks to 3D, thanks to technologies, we're heading at least overcoming the flatness. And I think it gives some interesting extra experience in seeing and watching the sculpture. So now I want to, I think it's time to give word to Nathalie. I will, for those who just joined, I will just make a short introduction again. So we, Nathalie Reyes, the Director of Innovation and Strategic Partnerships in Cappasity, our technological partner for 3D images, and me, Yana Tibben, founder of Art Catch. We are talking today about the immersive technologies for art, for showcasing art. And I think that we should start with the start of Cappasity. Could you please tell us what Cappasity is? And I know you've got international team. So where you are, what you are, tell us about your beginnings.
Thank you, Yana. Thanks again. And hi everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us today. So let me start with a quick introduction, as Yana mentioned, about Cappasity and what we are. Basically, we started to develop our solution in 2013, and it was like a long time when we did a lot of R&D to understand how to approach our customers and make sure that we can fit into their needs and understand how to create the product which will be perfectly suitable for their current needs and goals. So After 4 years of R&D, we actually launched the platform, the Cappasity platform, which is a SaaS solution, which helps you to create immersive experiences and integrate them into various sales channels and any other environment you'd like to show it in. And may I have the host right again, please? Just to give you a better idea of what it looks like and why it's needed, I can show some examples. Because if we're talking about visualization, of course, it's super important to show it right away.
Yeah, it's always, yeah, if we talk about visual instruments, it's nice to see what we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, we are waiting. Basically, when we talk about immersive technologies, we understand that it's very important to bring the same emotions and experience that you have somewhere physically, like be it a museum or a gallery or whatever. You want to have the same experience online. And as Yana mentioned, it's important that you want to show the size of the object or avoid this flatness and make sure that the person can actually understand what he or she sees and have a chance to touch the product, or at least have a feeling that they're touching or doing something with it. So if we talk about Cappasity, we created the platform which helps anyone to create a 3D image of an object. It can be anything like from a small ring to a car or a sculpture or painting. And then you can use it for your website, you can create an art gallery, you can share it on social media. Basically, you can do a wide range of different things to make sure that you can share this with the world and bring this special experience with the object to the online. So Cappasity consists of 3 parts. Basically, the first thing which I described is the SaaS platform. We also have the Easy 3D Scan software, which helps you to create a 3D out of the video or photos. So the mechanics is very easy. You have to shoot your object with a professional camera on a turntable, either with a video or a bunch of photos, and then upload them to the software, which will create a 3D out of it. And the second part, which we are releasing right now, and which is very good for like mass market, is the application for your smartphone, which helps you to go around the object and then get a 3D out of it in just a couple minutes without any professional equipment. So it's like both ways for different groups of clients and different needs, and you can select the one which will fit your goals the most. And I think the third very new feature of our platform is that we can create the 3D, interactive 3D image of the art from just a photo. So basically, we are going to release a plugin which creates an interactive imagery out of just one picture of the painting. And it creates a very real experience because you can still zoom in, you can see the structure, the patterns, which I think is very important when you would like to enjoy the art. You can actually zoom in and see every small detail, which sometimes is not available even in the museum or a gallery because you just cannot come this close.
No, so, yeah. Normally, yeah, you're instructed by strict old ladies.
Exactly. Don't come, don't touch, don't look.
That's amazing. What, yeah, you mentioned me also that you creating this solution also for showcasing painting. As far as I remember, you mentioned this solution is almost on the way. Is it, or it's already available?
Not yet. We are going to release it later, a bit later this year. So right now we can only we can already work on some specific projects together, but for a wide public use, it will be available later.
Okay, and may I ask, the question before, not to forget, if we see this very high resolution painting, what about the copyrights? I mean, is it possible for people to download it? Because of course, artists and galleries, they always make sure that the image is not downloadable. You cannot make, you cannot print it. So
that's a good question.
Do you ensure that this copyright is there, is observed?
Yeah, totally. Basically, the perk of our platform is that our format, 3D format, is a proprietary format which cannot be played or downloaded to use with any other player. So basically, the only thing which is possible is to make a screenshot, but it's possible with any type of browser or imagery. But it won't give you any sense of 3D image. So you won't be able to copy it or download it, print it out, of course, not possible. Yeah, so it's totally safe. And I think it's important not only for the art industry, but also for e-commerce, which we work with a lot. So everyone is very obsessed, but it's logical about the copyrights. And it's important to make sure that the content is secured.
Yeah, very good. Great. So you are, yeah, you've got, what are the specific products for the art that you offer? Is there anything really specific for art industry? For example, you mentioned the app that is also on the way that the artists can use in their studios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Basically, the idea is that you can shoot any object with a smartphone. And this is perfect for the artist because you don't need to buy any specific equipment or hire a professional photographer to do the shootings for you. You can just take a smartphone, download the app, go around the objects and get the image in just 3 or 5 minutes, depending on the size of the object. And at the same time, it's easier because if you have a very irregular object, I mean, in terms of the size or a form, when you cannot just place it on the turntable, that might be very relevant for this type of art pieces, because sometimes if the sculpture is too large and is about 2 meters long, it's much easier to go around it, but not place it on the turntable.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. That I wanted to actually touch this topic in more detail, so we can return to it. And but first, as far as I understand, you started more like for your solutions were more for e-commerce and also for car industry. I've seen these impressive images of this rotating platform with cars. But I know that you already have interesting cases with art industry and also with education. Could you please tell us about your case with New York University? Yeah. What was the story there?
Sure. Well, we met with the New York Academy of Arts a while ago, and basically when we started to discuss the cooperation opportunities, we understood that there is a huge synergy between our companies, like organizations, because the New York Academy had in mind the idea that everyone should be able to showcase their art pieces. And of course, for their students, it's very important to share the message of their artworks with the world and with potential buyers, for example. So for the students, it makes a lot of sense to create a digital version of the artwork and share it on social media, use it as a digital portfolio, of course, to share with potential investors, buyers, anyone interested in the art as well. So what we did, we started our unique project with their sculpture department. Okay. And their students are digitizing their sculptures. So basically we have like a cooperation agreement to make sure that everyone has an access to create 3D images and integrate them into various channels wherever they like. And I know that the New York Academy, they actually use a lot, like social media a lot, and they share a lot of artworks by their students there. So it's essential to make sure that everyone can have access to these pieces and take a closer look at any place that is important to understand the artist's message.
I'm sorry for being very practical, but sorry for my practical question, but does the university, does the academy kind of holds the account, sort buys the account and it shares with its students?
Kind of, yeah. Basically, each student can also have their own account. They set up the place at the university where you can come and shoot your artworks. So they help out with all this organizational part to make sure that these students have, time and resources to invest into this type of digitalization.
Okay, can they do they themselves make these photos?
Well, if they go somewhere at the studio to do that, they can still digitize them somehow, but it would be much more convenient at the university where everything is set up already. So of course they can come directly to Cappasity, but it doesn't make sense when you have everything at hand.
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear for our guests that there are kind of two stages in making the 3D images on display, the 3D object. So one thing that we have to separate them from one another. So one is the shooting, the photo shooting of the artwork, and another thing is using your platform for demonstrating it. Yeah, so I just want maybe Nathalie, you make it clear for the guests that there are two different fields and you are more involved into the second stage, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Cappasity is more like a technical tool, which gives you the instruments to create anything you'd like and be as creative as you'd like. And the production part, it's actually more like on the client's part or student's part, whoever does the shooting. So we help our customers to convert the regular the regular videos into 3D images. And that's where our help is important, because Cappasity also helps you to integrate this type of content and make sure that it's flawlessly available on every type of device and browser. While the shooting part is more like a creative person. So, sorry, not the person, the creative process.
Process. It's indeed, yeah. I will share our own experience. Yeah, gladly. Okay.
Yeah. So if we talk about retail, sometimes our clients have their own studios, so they wanna be creative. They wanna try different scenarios, different backgrounds, lights, and stuff like that. The same is with the art. So when you wanna bring this experience or bring some kind of a message that you are trying to transfer with your art to online environments, you should be able to control this process. So that's where software fits.
Yeah, I remember that we had the things is that within the ANIZOTROPIA project, there are a few sculptures that are really big, large size, and as far as I know, that it's possible to with the small objects. It's possible to bring them into the studio of one of your partners, photo companies, and they will do this shooting. But in our case, the works were located in the artist studio outside Moscow, and that was a really big thing to bring all the equipment there, to make a white room for it. So that was quite a challenge, actually. And what are the obstacles that people can face in such projects? What normally do your clients face? It's because it looks quite simple, but I understand that normally it goes smoothly with small objects, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, from which size the challenge starts?
That's a good question. I think everything bigger than the regular person, like maybe about 2 meters and higher, can already result in some challenges, because you always have to have enough light to lighten the background, lighten the object itself, and make sure that it looks good in the shots. And of course, the turntable. This is the challenging part, because sometimes the companies or clients, they don't have the big enough turntable. And there are a couple of ways to do that. You can either buy some and, I don't know, order delivery from somewhere, depending on your location. Some of our clients even create their own turntables, which is also a way sometimes. But I think here it's important to understand that, well, even if you do the photo shooting, it's sometimes hard to find the right location, the right equipment to do the shooting and make sure that it looks good. So with any unexpected forms or sizes, sometimes it's a challenge to rotate the object and make sure that you can do it fast and easy enough.
All right, yeah. That's, but I know that you've got, there are tables that you can put a car on it, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. We also had a client which shoots kayaks, so it was fun, and the boats. So for the boats, it was a very, very big setup with a rotating table upwards on the ceiling, and the boats were hanged, and that was a huge amount of job, but still looked good.
Oh, wow, nice. And that was very handy with, I want to mention that you've got a chain of photographers, right? Because it's not just a random photographer you can pick up for 3D, right? So there should be people who have equipment and they know how to deal with it. So it was very helpful because I was arranging it sitting in the Netherlands, and the artist was in Moscow and the studio was outside Moscow. So, and it was very helpful that you had contacts almost everywhere around the world, I think, right? And almost in
Yeah,
countries.
almost. Yeah, we're doing our best to make sure that we have partners all over the globe to help our customers, from small ones to enterprises, to do the hard part of the job, because the production, it can be creative and you can select to keep it in-house, but sometimes you don't want to waste your time or your studio's time and you want to outsource it. So of course, for this type of situations, you have to have a chance to have a professional in your region. So I'm very happy that our partners helped you to do this hard and challenging work.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, they were very effective. That's true. So could you please tell a bit more? So I want to, if we have artists here watching us, I want to make sure that everyone understands that there is possibility that artists themselves in their studios can use this technology, especially if that there is no very big objects, yeah, so they can do it themselves. But you mentioned that there are also possibilities for large installations, because contemporary art is a challenging industry in terms of very really big object sculptures, sometimes during big art events. And so what is to be offered from your side in these cases? How we deal with this? I know that rotation table is nice, but you cannot put a house on top of it. What?
Yeah, that's true.
Certain limitations.
Basically, for this scenario, we also have this 3D Shot app, which is a mobile app which helps you to do the shooting, just going around the product or an object. And I can even show you some examples here. So let's say you want to shoot a bike. Of course, it's harder to put it on a turntable, but you can still do it going around it and shooting it with our mobile app. So basically, it's a new development which we just released, and we are working with different types of industries here, because it gets to the next level, as you can digitize literally everything, even a house in this case. So let me find one more example of the sculpture which I like a lot. I guess, yeah, this one. So it's like a monument, I guess, somewhere in the US, if I'm not mistaken. And here you can also go around the object just with the smartphone, and in 2 minutes you'll get the amazing quality. You can still zoom in. And I think it's good for any type of big object, unexpected one, which cannot be shot with a turntable, or even if you don't have any professional equipment at hand, it's super easy to do it with the app.
Wow, yeah, that looks impressive, and there is no need in a white room. We just do it outside, right? And Okay. So is it a separate app for it?
Yeah, it's a separate app which will be available in the App Store pretty soon, this autumn. But right now we are already working on some like private projects, and some companies are already using our application to digitize their like furniture, art pieces, and stuff like that.
Okay. That's yeah, that's good news for that, and it makes the task so much easier that you can do it yourself without arranging for a special photo shooting. I wanted to ask you about your experience of working with collections. It's not a secret, of course, that the making collections in a digital mode is a kind of a trend, and it started long before COVID, and COVID will just make it this process is faster and broader, and of course, biggest galleries and biggest museums, auctions, they all go online. And I read an article, it was dealing with the market in Great Britain after Brexit, but I think that it's definitely fair for any other market, that the collectors demand a very high resolution of photos to make deals online. And yeah, do you see this industry strategic for you? There is so much work to be done now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, when we launched this solution, we thought about the auction houses, but we didn't expect such a big, like so many requests in this sphere, because it turns out that, especially in the post-COVID era, it's very hard to do any appraisal work. And here, the 3D imaging and any 3D visualization is very native for the customers. And it's super important to get a very high quality image. And with our solution, it's easy because you can still get a 4K quality resolution from every angle to show the every single detail of the object, like in this video. Plus, you can see it behind, which is important, or review the frame of the image, for example, if we are talking about the painting. So for the auction houses or any platforms that are selling art pieces, it's like essential to sell, because without it, you can't even understand what you're buying. Usually they have pictures, and they do the zoom ups and try to show every small piece of the image. But of course, it's harder to do, right? Because you have to take a lot of pictures, and you have to be very attentive to understand what exactly the person might be able to or might want to see. So here it's important to understand how to approach it. And I think 3D imaging is like the best thing to show such valued things.
So do I understand it right that in your portfolio of cases in cultural field, you've got already auction houses, museums, and definitely you with university?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, it's in my understanding, there are kind of two fields in what you are doing. It's technologies for showcasing art, like 3D, and there is another part is virtual reality, AR, VR. The thing is that it's kind of getting more and more artists, for example, they work with digital art, they use AR and VR as part of their works. So it's when we not use technology only for showing the real works, but the technology itself adds something into work. And it comes to my mind if we speak about Russian artists, Recycle, who made interventions in Pushkin Museum, and there was actually it was a sculpture and AR experience in one. And I know Electro Museum in Moscow is now showing a very big, interesting exhibition of digital art, and yeah, it's kind of very popular. And in a broad international sense, the Recycle also had a very big project in Russian Pavilion at Venice Biennale when AR and was big part, the essential part of their artistic statements. So I want to smoothly come to the topic of this field. What are your products for this, and do you feel like there is a demand from the artists, and not only the artists, whoever, curators, for such kind of product?
Yeah, I think it becomes very relevant for the art industry right now, especially when it comes to size and you want to show it somewhere in the room, like close to, I don't know, your own furniture. It makes a lot of sense to have the augmented reality hologram placed there. And of course, it creates a lot of buzz and the presence feeling for the person who experiences it, because it's a new technology, and still everyone is trying to, take advantage of it and find new ways how to use it in different industries. And if we talk about other solutions here, of course, any development of 3D render usually takes a lot of time and money. And we try to do the new way, we try to create a new way to do that. And basically with Cappasity and with our 3D view format, it's possible because you don't have to shoot anything one more time, or you don't have to create a special 3D render. You can use the same 3D model. And I will show you some examples. Actually, this one is the example of the sculpture by the New York Academy again. So it is like an augmented reality. And basically, you don't need to go to the museum anymore. The museum comes to you. You can walk around anything, and you will be alone without any crowded places.
How much effort and time does it take to create this example of augmented reality?
To be honest, not much, because it's still the same 3D. So you do the same thing as for your website. You shoot it on a white background. Then our service helps to remove the background and integrate it into augmented reality. So in general, it's the same process. It just adds maybe a couple more minutes on top of the 3 minutes creation part. And yeah, here you are. You can use it everywhere, and without any specific development or additional resources needed for it.
Okay. And yeah, it's interesting that sometimes I think it's really a new technology, and I experienced myself when as a user that sometimes this image with augmented reality, sometimes it's hard to catch it. It doesn't appear in the right moment, in the right place. Yeah, so maybe I guess it's some development and improvement are on the way. What are your ambitions from the technical side point of view? I guess that there's still something to work at, and what do you think we could do better? You could do better, and generally these technologies could be better.
Yeah, of course, there is a lot of room for improvement yet, and we are working very hard to make sure that these technologies will be available for everyone, because of course it's still kind of difficult to make sure that everything works automatically without any glitches, without any problems. And when you do the shooting of a real object and you wanted to transfer it to the new environment, you have to be very attentive to details. So with our solution, we are trying to make it simple and very fast. So in our mobile application, for example, it's planned to have the background removed automatically for the augmented reality. So you don't have to do anything manually or create any specific requests for that.
Yeah.
And here I will show one more example of augmented reality, basically with a person. I think it's like similar to the sculptures because you can still like translate the size of the object or of a person in this case. And at the same, like with the same logic, you can post a sculpture, a vase, anything in your world, in your own room.
Okay, interesting. It's a kind of it's interesting that because it's new, again, it's new technology, and we all as everything new, and it's really entertaining to play with it. I want to do. Is there for you personally a border between the art and game in this question?
Well,
have you ever questioned yourself about it?
you know, to be honest, I think it's cool when different industries or different even environments, so to say, when they create a synergy together. And if we talk about the art and the gaming industry, for example, or just the gaming mechanics, it's cool when you can create something between it and provide a absolutely new and innovative experience to the people. Because I think nowadays it's very hard to make the content entertaining and attract a lot of people because there is a lot of digital content. There are too many different platforms and everything which is trying to gain your attention and attract it to something specific. And it comes to, I think it relates to any life experience. So if we talk about selling or shopping, everybody's trying to get your attention to buy something. If we talk about art, everybody would like to showcase their own perceiving of the life of the world and everything. So you cannot just separate yourself or take apart and make sure that you can see everything. So when it comes to some innovative experiences, I'm all for it. I think it's amazing, and you can actually create something cool for the audience and stand out in this environment of absolutely different things in industries. And just to give you an idea, for example, how we tried to do that with the New York Academy again, basically what we did, we recreated their online museum in virtual reality. And this is where the game and the art come together and create synergy. Because in this case, you can actually walk around a real museum, which is located in New York. So this is not a museum, actually, this is more like a classroom, which we recreated. And you can walk around and see the artworks by the students. So you can actually move around, you can see it in virtual glasses, like a VR experience. Mm-hmm. And all these walls, everything is recreated from a real room in the university.
And I guess it showcases the real ratio, the size of the space and the works, right?
Exactly, yeah. This one, which you already saw in augmented reality just now. Right. Yeah. And they are so unusual, so you can actually walk around it and see it from different angles. And it's even better than in a regular museum because there are a lot of limitations, like you cannot go and do whatever you'd like.
Sometimes if it's crowded also, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
I guess that the similar technology was used, yeah, definitely for the art fairs that many of them, of course, didn't take place in real, offline. And many booths, many art fairs, they launched this, such kind of online demonstrations of the galleries and the works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really appealing and almost real. Yeah, almost real. Okay, so you definitely saw the exhibition. our exhibition. What are you satisfied with your experience?
Of
I mean,
course.
ANIZOTROPIA, what are your impressions?
Well, I think it's a beautifully built exhibition because I think it was first time of my life when I had a chance to dive into the.
In mine also, and also the team. Yeah, it was very first time in our lives.
So I cannot say that I'm an expert in art, but I always felt like I lack some experience when I do something online because, of course, you can browse a lot of things. Right now, you can Google any type of picture, you can Google sculptures, but you cannot get this experience like you're actually in the museum or in the gallery looking at them. So with this exhibition, like first online exhibition, I think, with 3D imaging involved, that was almost a real experience because you can literally browse everything as if you're hanging it in your hand.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it's too big to hang it, but still, it's I think very immersive. It's the case when you get into the object and you can stay with it yourself, you know, and no one will break your experience or spoil your travel through this world of anisotropia.
Yeah, definitely. And also, we discussed it a bit last time. And I think that, again, one of the advantages of online exhibition is the coverage and accessibility that you can showcase your exhibition all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the particular artworks, I think that this real space sometimes it's can be challenging, and some of the works they receive less attention just because the space doesn't allow to give equal space to every piece. And
Mm-hmm.
here all the works they are given as much attention as and space they deserve. So yeah, it's just different kind of in my point of view, I think the perfect picture, or in the perfect picture of the world, there should be both offline and online exhibitions, because it's like with the book. Yeah, sometimes some people like to read a hard copy, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just different. It just feels different. Okay, so we have, I think we've got a few questions today from our guests. And one of the questions is, I search for the first one. This app will be only for iPhone or Android too. I think the app that you were talking about, that you can make a
Mm-hmm.
round picture of it.
It will be available on both platforms, first on the iPhone and then on Android.
Okay, so nice. We can all use it. And what artists should do to use your technology? What does he need to do?
I think come to Cappasity website and download our software to start browsing.
Okay.
And of course, if anyone has any specific questions or requests, there is also a form where you can address your question, and we'll be happy to help your particular case. Because of course, every situation is different and unique, and we want to make sure that we can fit in and help your project to get the best experience with 3D. So yeah, I think to start, the most important way is to come to cappasity.com and start your journey through signing in.
Yeah, but that app that you mentioned, it's just on the way. It's not yet. It's almost finished, right?
Yeah, but you can always, you can already download the test version from the
Okay.
test flight. So everyone is welcome to try it out. We have a form on our website where you can go and request the access. So you will get the instructions how to install it, and you can already try it out on your own art.
Perfect. And one more question is coming. Virtual reality, will it also work as app? Can we make it, create it in application?
That's a good question, depending on what is meant by app, because actually virtual reality experiences are already available on Steam. So you can try it out via glasses, like specific VR headsets as an application. If we talk about the integrating this virtual reality into someone's app, that's also possible. It just depends on the technical limitations of the application itself, but we are always open to discuss such things.
Okay, and I'm glad that we have photographers here. Well, there is a question, obviously, from a photographer. What should photographers do if they want to join your chain?
Oh, we will be happy to have you on board. Basically, there is a specific page on our website where you can find the form, which should be filled in. And we also ask our photographers and partners to create a short portfolio, like at least with the 5 to 10 samples of your work to make it easier for your potential customers to browse your portfolio and decide who they want to go with. Yep, so that's pretty easy.
Do they have to have special equipment?
Not really. I think every photographer has the lights, camera, and background. The only thing which might be missing is the turntable, but it's very easy to purchase even if you don't have it. But on my experience, almost every photographer in studio has it, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask the question, my personal, about the website. Do these 3D pictures, images, do they affect the efficiency, the performance of the website?
Basically, all the content is stored on the Cappasity platform, and it's transferred to the website through the CDNs and special technologies which we use to make sure that the customer journey will be smooth and won't lag, of course. So we don't affect the website efficiency, and it will load as fast as it works without the 3D images. We also have the unique feature of our format, which is called data streaming, because sometimes when the internet connection is not very good, you still have to wait until the content is loaded. So with Cappasity, we do it in batches. We actually stream the data like YouTube to make sure that the person can interact with the 3D image when it's uploaded to 30% only. So it's like a very good thing for regions where the internet connection can lag or can be slow sometimes, because it happens. And even in the US, in California, sometimes the internet is so bad, so you cannot download anything. So yeah, it happens.
Amazing.
I tell you.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to say that, by the way, the ANIZOTROPIA have very good numbers of watching the show. It's my personal pride. I think yours also.
Of course.
So it's nice. And is there possibilities to track the statistics of visitors and the experience itself?
Yeah, the analytics part of the platform helps you to understand how many people actually open the 3D images and how they watch them. So we can track the most popular angles of the objects. We can see where people zoom in. And this can give you a very powerful marketing insight into how people interact with this or that art piece, object, e-commerce product, whatever. So we can also see how much time people spend on the product page or the gallery page, because it's important when you want to track the conversion to sales or to, I don't know, add to cart rate, for example, or if you do any activities, you still want to get some metrics to understand how people behave online. Because when it comes to the museum or to the store, you can always see it yourself. Yeah. But online, it's always a secret story. But to give this insight to our clients, we track all this data and share it in a very convenient analytics report. And we can give you a very good insight into your customers' behavior.
Great, great. I see there is a question for Art Catch. If next shows of Art Catch will be also with Cappasity Tech, I hope so. I would love, I like it. Definitely. And for me, was a great news that you have such an amazing solution for showcasing painting, because our next exhibitions will also include painting. And I, in our conversation, asked you if there also the same solution works for photography, yeah, for photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to know that yes, yeah. So definitely we would like to stay with you as long as possible. Yeah, definitely. So do we have more questions from the guests, or I will tell a bit about our, maybe we wait a bit. Nathalie, thank you so much. I think that it was really useful. And I think that everyone can reach you out through the website, right?
Cappasity.com, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I want to tell that our next meetings will be also on Thursdays in the evening. And I feel sorry that someone, because we have guests from different parts of the world, and we indicate also always the Central Europe time. So today we were in Central Europe time was 6 p.m. For Russia, it's 7 p.m. and it's always the same, stays the same for all our meetings. And next Thursday, 1st of October, we'll have a very interesting, on my opinion, topic: international art promotion. We'll have people from Arte Laguna and Altiva 9 cultural and artistic platform. On the 8th of October, we'll be having a very interesting conversation about philosophy and art. And 15 October, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, it's art online and art institutions. So please make sure that you follow our program. We'll make posts in social media and on the website and in Facebook. So yeah, if we have no more questions, Nathalie, do you have questions maybe? Me?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
I hope that everyone liked our
We are
conversation and enjoyed it.
fantastic. We're super efficient in timing. And yeah, thank you so much. It was really interesting and helpful and useful. So
Thank you, Yana.
and I
Thank you.
invite everyone to our exhibition, artcatch.art. Please do come and visit our exhibition. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.